and we will learn some more advanced techniques for factoring. First of all, there are no advanced techniques whatsoever in Part A. Part A is basic factoring. You put your brackets. You go like, oh, this is nice. No thinking for my first ones. They would have to be X and X. But 24, there's a bunch of options. 24 and 1, 2 and 12, 6 and 4, 8 and 3. So of those options, which one would give you an outside and inside to give you 5? I think 8 and 3 seems reasonable. I need a plus 5, so I'll make my outside plus 8x, my inside minus 3x. Quickly multiply it out and check. Part B, there is a shortcut. What's the opposite of a shortcut? And a long cut? I don't know if that's the word. There's a long way to do it, the long cut, and a short way to do it, the shortcut. Okay? The long way to do it is multiply everything out, gather all your like terms, and then factor again. Your shortcut is to choose a letter other than X and make a small substitution. Okay? Sometimes you might be like, ooh, I want to use the letter of my first name because I don't think it gets used enough. Unless your name is Xavier, then you're like, it's all the time X, right? But maybe, right, maybe you say, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to let, okay, trying to figure out what letter this is tough mental math. What letter should I pick to make the most people in this class happy? What first name letter happens the most in this class? Right? I know there's at least 2 D's because there's 2 decimals, so that makes it easy to figure that out. But is there more D's than just decimals? Anybody think there's a letter that's used more than once? What do you think? J. J?
Josh, Jesse, Jonathan.
Oh, George. J. We gotta go J. There we go. We'll go J. J is good. So we let J equal X minus 6. Because in this question, you've got 2 times something squared plus 10 times something minus 48. If we let J equal the X minus 6, we substitute that in, and this just becomes 2J squared plus 10J minus 48. And we factor this, because it looks a lot simpler, as best as we can. First of all, we're like, ooh, there's a 2 in common. I will take out the 2. J squared plus 5J minus 24. And then you might notice that this is identical to our first question. So we've already factored the inside. We already know that the inside worked out to be J and J. We'd have to have 8 and 3. The 8 is positive, the 3 is negative. So here we did a substitution. And now that we factored it with J, we're going to substitute back. So I'm going to have 2 bracket, and where the J is, I'm going to put X minus 6, because then I have minus 3. And then where this J is, I'm going to put the X minus 6 back. And now I have some like terms. X minus 6 minus 3, that'll just be X minus 9. And X minus 6 plus 8, that'll be X plus 2. And here's my final answer, completely factored, quicker than multiplying it all out. Option 2 is multiply everything out, combine all your like terms, and then factor like normal. But with the substitution, we can make it a little bit faster. All right, second most common letter. If J was most common, anybody come up with a second place? Okay, because we are now going to do, here I'll start a new page. Part C, I'll rewrite it out. 2x plus 5 squared. Plus 10, 2x plus 5. Minus 8. And we're going to say let, any guesses for second place? Z. Do we have, how many Z? But I really think this is the first ever class ever that I've had where J is the most prevalent steps.
Do we have a third K besides me and Camden?
So anybody else K? 2 Ks. How about Ds? 2 Ds. Any other Ds? All right. We're going to go with K then. You know, let K equal 2x plus 5, then this question becomes 3k squared plus 10k minus 8. No common factors. But I can put my brackets. 3k squared is easy. It has to be 3k and k. 8 gives us some options. 4 and 2, 2 and 4, 1 and 8, 8 and 1. So do some mental math, see if you can figure out whether you should use 1 and 8, 8 and 1, 2 and 4, or 4 and 2. You need to make 10. Oh, I love this question. This is one of the hardest factoring ones. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because you can make 10 two different ways. And one of them works and one of them doesn't. Okay? Now the hint for which way you need to use, the hint is actually right here with the fact that it's a negative. The fact that your last number is a negative actually means you have to subtract to get 10 and not add to get 10. So if you had decided to go in this route with 4 and 2, this is 6 and this is 4, it makes 10, but I'm adding, and if you actually multiply it out, it won't work. But if you went ahead and used 4 and 2 this way, now my outside is 12, my inside is 2, and if I subtract, I will make 10, so I have to have plus 12 minus 2. And the reason you have to have a subtract is because one has to be plus and one has to be minus to give you minus 8. If you added, they'd both be negative or both positive. So I like that one because it's got a little bit of sneakiness to it. Okay? I'll show you the common sneaky factorings. The common sneaky factorings with regular, the hardest easy ones, in other words. I'll show you them after this. So now, we factored it with k, we can now substitute back. So we have 3, but instead of k, I'm going to write 2x plus 5. And then it's still minus 2. And then instead of this k, I substitute in 2x minus 5, and we still have the plus 4. Plus 2x plus 5. Thank you. Now, if we combine our like terms, in this first set of brackets, I'd have 6x plus 15 minus 3, which will be 6x minus 13. And then in the next one, I have 2x plus 5 plus 9, which would give me 2x plus 9. If did this the long way, it would have been disastrous. Okay? I'm going to tell you that if you had decided to multiply that out, combine all your like terms and simplify, you would have gotten 12x squared and then you would have plus 80x and then plus 117. And I don't know how good your 117 is for times table, but I'm guessing pretty not good. Pretty not good, that you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's like 9 times 13 and 3 times 39, right? And of course 1 times 117. This is terrible to factor. But using the shortcut, we got the answer anyways. Okay. Questions on this one are 15 and 16. And how are you guys feeling? Do you want to finish this lesson and do question 4, or do you want to leave question 4 for Monday? Monday. Okay. It's Friday. I'll give you the rest of class to work on these questions.